So, very quickly I want to look at what does the name change mean to you, what's new, and let's have a very quick look at the future. Alright, so last night over dinner I had a great chat with the people on table 6, and yeah, they're as noisy now as they were last night. That's fantastic. Lorraine had a great comment to make. She said, look, I've always been an IT trainer, always, but I'm now an IT trainer and I'm a compliance trainer as well. And Lorraine's story is the story of a lot of our members. A lot of our members are moving into roles that are wider than they've done in the past. Their role is broadening. We're going from being pure IT trainers to being learning professionals. And we know this because last year's survey, which was the largest ever carried out of our members, showed that most of our members today would not call themselves IT trainers. They would call themselves learning and development professionals. Asked to describe themselves 3 years into the future, and the words being used were change management, soft skills, facilitation, not IT training. Now, it's only right that your institute should reflect the way that its members see themselves and the way they see their future. And equally, I think we also need to reflect the increasingly important role of workplace learning. In today's world, the right skills are crucial to organisational success. We've always known this, of course, but the crucial thing now is that organisational leaders appreciate it too. Last year, Coleman Parks did some research. They talked to the top 350 CEOs in the country, and they said to them, what's the one thing that will prevent you coming out of recession effectively? What's the one thing? And the answer these guys all came back with, and they were mostly guys, came back with was not availability of capital, not reducing red tape, it was the skills of their workforce. 70% said the skills of their workforce were the crucial thing to coming out of recession effectively. And that's great news for us. Skills are finally recognised for what they are, the crucial element of success in a business. And they feature in the finance pages of the newspaper. 10 years ago, you couldn't find skills in the finance pages of the newspaper. You couldn't find them anywhere in the newspaper. I know, I was looking. Things have changed. We've moved from a position where we were in the past to where now skills are being sought after by business leaders. And why is that? Because they know that excellence in learning leads to excellent performance. So, as part of that, we're continuing to see, of course, that the role of us, the trainers, is continuing to evolve. Trainers are now expected to be experts not only in delivery, but in other things as well, in social learning, informal learning, as well as classroom training. And we're also expected to understand how learning affects performance at a personal and organisational level. So learning and performance, that's what our jobs are about today. And it's a rather different world to the world we had 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and certainly very different to the world where I started out as a trainer 25 years ago, where it was enough to stand in the classroom and be the expert. There is still a role for that, but there's much more as well. And I love it. I love the fact that what we do now is being appreciated. It's understood to be important. All right, so given that new environment, what can you expect from your institute? How can we help you in your daily jobs? As the chairman of your institute, I see 2 things are going to be core to what we're doing. The first is we've got to be useful. We've got to provide valuable stuff for all our members at all levels. Straightforward. And secondly, we have to be inclusive. We live and work in a networked, sharing world. It's very different from that world we were in the past. And there's no place today for any institute that sets itself up as a gatekeeper, trying to get people to, well, setting standards and then requiring people to pay at every stage of their professional development to the institute for meeting those standards. That's not the sort of institute the Learning and Performance Institute is going to be. All right, so what does all this mean practically? Let's look at a few things. And let me just pause for a second to take a glass of water and say, everybody at the back, feel free to come in and sit down. I'm not going to be talking very much longer, but you might want to take some weight off. Okay, firstly, membership. Membership's been realigned and simplified. There are now just 4 levels of membership. There's also a very straightforward online application process and a method of managing your continual professional development online. You'll be assessed on your ability on the job, and you can show the evidence for that by certification, by activity, and by experience, by what you actually do. And this is absolutely about proving value and being inclusive, about helping you do your daily job in a way that suits you, not getting in the way of it. And when it comes to membership, please be assured of one thing. In this simplification, the realignment of the membership, nobody's membership will be downgraded. In fact, for some people it may be your membership will be upgraded, depending on your experience. Also, if you have a qualification, that was relevant yesterday, guess what? It's still relevant today. Nothing changes, right? It was IT yesterday, you're still an IT trainer today in an institute that still looks after you. Now, it's a point I want to stress. After some conversations I had yesterday, I started off as an IT trainer 25 years ago. I wouldn't want my home to be anywhere else than in this institute. We're still going to be the place to champion IT trainers. We just have a different name. Sorry, I've got myself lost here in my notes because I had to revise my notes given that conversation I had last night. I wanted to make sure I got that point across. I also want to say that if there are any points where you've got any questions about what I'm saying today, this morning, we won't have time for Q&A now. And I'm not going to be doing the Q&A at the end of today, but we will be around, me, Ed, Colin, the entire team, around to take your questions during the day. Right? This is not a process that's top-down. We need to be in conversation all the time. I should point out, by the way, coming back to the agenda very quickly, that where I was going to be speaking at the end of the day, doing this short piece, Neil Lasher instead, who's sitting at the front here, Neil will be delivering a short talk about a new initiative that the Institute is backing to help the disenfranchised in their learning. Because it's something else that the Institute wants to do is get involved with everybody who's involved in adult learning, and I'll talk more about that in a second. All right, so membership's been restructured and simplified and made easier for you to deal with. A couple of other things that we're doing, and then we're going to press on with the conference. Firstly, we are producing a roadmap of what it means to be an what it means to be a learning professional. A learning professional, what does it mean? Well, we all have our own ideas, and some of us are very clear about what it means to be a professional in our field, but nowhere can you go to at the moment where we can say, yes, okay, that is the atlas, that's the roadmap for the learning and development landscape. Well, it's time we had one. The advisory board have started the process of producing one. It's a 1-year process whereby we will get the ideas together, we'll road test them. This time next year, we want to be launching for general use the first roadmap of the learning and development profession. I can't go into details now, but the exciting thing about this for me is this. This is going to be more than just a list of skills, more than just a list of qualifications. This is going to be something where people can say, I want to get on in this profession. If I want to go and become that person or that role, what do I need to get there? And guess what we're going to do with it? This very valuable resource, we're going to make it available to everybody, to members, to non-members, regardless, because we think it's an important piece of intellectual property that needs to be shared. That's inclusiveness, that's value. We're going to be involved also, as Neil will talk at the end of today, with other organisations that are interested in learning and development for adults. That includes the Learning and Skills Improvement Service, the Campaign for Learning, and a collection of bodies who are involved with apprenticeships. And you'll notice that for the first time this year, at our awards, we have an Apprentice of the Year. We want to back the idea that learning is for everybody and that we're the professionals who know how to deliver it. We're going to be doing more with research. Increasingly, we'll be commissioning our own research, but also we'll be sharing the research of others that we have formed ties with, such as Burson and Associates. You can see that coming through between now and Christmas. You'll also see our own research, such as our full learning survey. That's now available on the website, which was launched, I think, 2 hours ago, learningandprofessionalinstitute.com. You might want to save that in your favourites rather than typing out each time. And that will, if you go there today, you can download a fantastic piece of research from earlier in the year about 500 organisations saying what their learning plans are for the future this year. It's fascinating stuff. Free to members, outside the Institute, you only get a summary of it. And this idea of working with others, so we're going to be sharing Burson's research and so on, will extend beyond research. Okay, we're going to commission our own work where it's necessary. We'll have some new webinars, we've got an online journal coming up, but in addition, we'll be sharing work from other organisations, a wide variety of stuff, case studies, guides, books, and so on, all helping you, again, do your daily job. All right, very quickly, what about the future? Firstly, you can expect to see some global news from us very shortly, and also next year you can expect to see the Institute moving to a bigger position on the world stage. And of course, coming up in February, please don't forget the awards. If you haven't got your award entry now, now's the time to do it, and those will be judged. I reckon now that with our general name for the Institute, those are now the largest learning awards in the UK. What a fabulous thing to be able to say that you've won one of them. This is an exciting time, I think, to be in our profession. We want our institute to be a modern, supportive, open, 21st century institute to support you in learning as learning becomes increasingly important in the knowledge economy. Colin, Ed, I and the team are all around today to listen to your questions, give you feedback, and also to continue working hard towards that vision. We've come a long way over the past 16 years, a very long way. Think about where we were in '95, if you can go back that far. I'm looking forward, in the next 16 years, to building an institute that matches what we need in the 21st century. It's going to be an exciting journey, and I'm looking forward to taking it with you. And I think now is the time to start our first conference as the Learning and Performance Institute. Thank you very much.